I'm Adriel Hepburn, and this is your Adventist News, a service of the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. Coming up in the news, Hurricane Dorian devastates the Bahamas, and students prepare to go back to school. These stories and more on this week's Adventist News. I'm Adriel Hepburn. Thanks for joining us for this week's Adventist News. Since Monday, September 2nd, the islands of the Bahamas, including us here in New Providence, have experienced the worst storm in history, Hurricane Dorian. Here in Nassau, persons had to evacuate their homes due to flooding, but the islands hardest hit by this nightmare of a storm were our sister islands of Abaco and Grand Bahama. The Category 5 storm, which sustained winds of 185 miles per hour and gusts of up to 220 miles per hour, moved over the islands at a crawl of as low as the reported 1 mile per hour. Local reports from the National Emergency Management Agency has indicated at least 7 people are confirmed dead and over 20 plus persons injured. However, even now in the aftermath of the storm, as the search and rescue continues on these islands, the number of deaths is expected to increase.
ADRES is presently working on a project where we'll be cleaning up the environment, helping the persons in that area, but we in immediate needs, we're going to be feeding the persons who are on Abaco and Grand Bahama, and we will also be providing for them clean drinking water, because we think that these are the two necessities at this time.
Video footage of roads and homes being flooded circulated on social media, confirming reports of the devastating trek of Dorian. And now, persons are still anxiously trying to find loved ones whom they haven't spoken to or seen in a number of days.
As soon as possible, we will bring to the communities not food items, and as a pastor said, we will want to put plan for giving the people safety water, and also we will be working with the government and other NGOs to bring more things to the communities.
Our hearts go out to persons affected by Hurricane Dorian, and we continue to trust God in the midst of all of it. Please continue to assist where you can. Last week, in preparation for the opening of school, a back-to-school revival was held for students in the South Bahamas Conference. Guest speaker for the meeting was Pastor Vandian Griffin, the Associate Youth and Young Adult Director in the North American Division of Seventh-day Adventists.
I need to talk to some college students to say to you today that Christ is trying to set you free before you go back into the schoolhouse. He's trying to deliver you. He wants to give you a brand new walk before you go back into those schoolrooms.
During these meetings, held by the youth department of our conference, students were encouraged to recommit their lives to Jesus Christ. Our prayers are with the students as they look forward to a successful school year. Please note that Bahamas Academy, our Seventh-day Adventist educational institution in the South Bahamas, opened for the new school year on Friday, September 6th.
The South Bahamas Conference Women's Ministries Department presents their 2019 conclave under the theme God's Beloved Daughters, Rescued, Redeemed, Restored, and Released. Keynote speaker will be Pastor Brenda Billingsley, Director of the North American Division Ministerial Association. Sessions begin on the evening of Friday, October 18th at 6:45 p.m. at the Hillview Seventh-day Adventist Church on Tonic Williams Darling Highway, and concludes on Saturday, October 19th at the Church of God Auditorium on Joe Farrington Road, beginning at 9:30 a.m. Registration for this event is free of charge, but you are welcomed to give a donation of $25. For more information on this event, please call the conference headquarters at 242-341-4021.
Welcome back to your Adventist News. Here are some of the activities coming up in the South Bahamas Conference. The Training Summit, Alert, originally scheduled for September 13th through 15th, has been postponed until further notice. Due to the effects of Hurricane Dorian has had on the Bahamas, the South Bahamas Conference has decided to focus their efforts on assisting in providing relief and restoration for our brothers and sisters in Abaco and Grand Bahama. A new date for the Alert Summit, hosted by the Ministerial Department, is anticipated. The Women's Ministries Conclave for the South Bahamas Conference will be held on October 18th and 19th, 2019, under the theme, God's Beloved Daughters, Rescued, Redeemed, Restored, and Released. Women are asked to plan now to be a part of this one-of-a-kind worship experience. This event is free to all women, so inquire now with your local church leaders and be there. During October 13th through 19th, 2019, the Children and Adolescent Ministries Department of our conference will host its annual week of prayer. Children from throughout the South Bahamas are expected to gather with their peers in these inspirational services. There will be an array of powerful child preachers presenting the Word of God. Plan now to support our children. Dr. Arthur Chadwick, Director of the Dinosaur Research Project and Geology Professor at Southwestern Adventist University, will be the guest speaker of the Faith and Science Lecture Series to be held October 24th to 26th, 2019. Lectures will be held on Thursday, the 24th at the University of the Bahamas. A presentation will be given at the Bethany Seventh-day Adventist Church at 7 p.m. on Friday, October 25th, and a Creation Sabbath celebration will take place on Saturday, October 26th at 8 a.m. at the Grandstown Church and at 11 a.m. at the Hillview Church. There will be an open forum at the Hillview Church at 4:30 p.m. to bring this series to a close. Please save these dates and be there to support. For more information on these events and more, visit our conference website at southbahamasconference.org, where you can view the news as well as other programming, read the weekly logos, or please feel free to call our headquarters at 242-341-4021.
Conflict resolution. A conflict is a serious argument between two individuals. Many persons are not aware of ways to resolve these conflicts. Here are a few ways to get through disagreements. Recognize the other person's concerns. Make sure that the person knows that you fully understand their point of view and you are not ignoring them. Calmly discuss each other's concerns. Shouting and blaming each other only makes things much worse. When seeking to resolve conflicts, always meet in person. A face-to-face conversation is a thoughtful way of addressing problems. When communicating electronically, something may be said innocently, but the other person may take it in the wrong way. Pay attention to body language. Oftentimes, we are not conscious of our body movements while conversing with someone else. A person can easily feel disrespected if you give off the wrong type of body language, like crossing arms or not making eye contact. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. When we are saturated with our own beliefs, we fail to realize how the other person may feel. By seeing things from their point of view, we are able to get a better understanding of their feelings. Overall, ensure that the conflict is completely resolved. Make sure you are satisfied with the outcome of the discussion. Don't let issues linger and don't dwell on things of the past. Let us strive at all times to show respect in dealing with each other, showing persons the considerations that you expect in return. This has been Javon Thomas with your health tip, courtesy of Adventist Television. And remember, God wants us to prosper and be in good health.
We go now to our news feature from around the world with the Adventist News Network.
Thank you so much for joining us this week.
A diverse group of Seventh-day Adventist medical experts, theologians, healthcare administrators, and ethicists are currently engaged in an attempt to clarify the Church's official stance on the controversial issue of abortion.
The denomination last offered guidelines, but not an official statement on abortion in a 1992 document.
Beginning 2 years ago, the Biblical Research Institute of the General Conference, or BRI, was tasked with preparing a statement that reflects scriptural principles bearing on the discussion of abortion.
The BRI Ethics Committee has developed multiple drafts of a proposed document on which there is ongoing dialogue with the Church's Health Ministries Department and the General Conference Bioethics Committee. The Bioethics Committee includes representatives from the Church's teaching hospitals and medical systems, as well as independent Adventist healthcare administrators and practitioners.
On August 27, Action of the General Conference Administrative Committee established a working group on abortion. The 26-member group includes representatives from many different departments and ministries within the Adventist Church's world headquarters.
Chaired by General Conference Vice President Arthur Stelle, the committee includes 23 members from countries other than the United States. 6 members are female, 3 of those are on the Statement Writing Committee.
Stella says the process of drafting any church statement should include representation from all segments of the church. This important statement involves the participation of theologians, medical practitioners, and clinicians, healthcare administrators, church administrators, and both men and women. The committee has been tasked with studying the BRI Ethics Committee draft together with the 1992 guidelines. Further, the committee is to study and consider input and feedback from a variety of sources, including the GC Bioethics Committee. Quoting from the committee's terms of reference, Stella emphasized that the group's third responsibility is to prepare a draft of one unified statement that will clearly be based on biblical principles that underline the sanctity of life and recognize the exceptionally difficult cases or anomalies women can face.
The announced goal is to bring a document to the floor of the General Conference Executive Committee, which convenes for its annual council in Silver Spring from October 9 through 16.
To read more, visit news.adventist.org. More than 40,000 Seventh-day Adventists in Rwanda flocked to the Amahoro National Stadium in Kigali to celebrate 100 years of Adventism in the country. President of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Ted N.C. Wilson, called the event momentous while preaching to the congregation on Sabbath and reminded everyone of God's leadership throughout the ages. The 100-year celebration was also a time to pay tribute to the Adventist missionaries who arrived in Rwanda in 1919. President of the Adventist Church in Rwanda, Hasron B. Lingiro, affirmed their legacy will never be forgotten. He also shared that the gospel the missionaries carried through education and health was in itself a language that needed no translation. Since all of those who carried out mission in those years have since passed away, awards were given to their children. Those whose relatives couldn't be found were awarded in absentia. In the name of her government, Judith Uwizeye, a minister in the office of the President of the Republic, said the Adventist Church is a good partner of the government of Rwanda because of its role in education, health, and development. Revisiting the gruesome genocide against the Tutsi in 1994, she reminded everyone that the church was not spared, but thank God for saving the nation. She joined Wilson in reminding Adventists to continue being good citizens and a source of healing to the community. The Adventist Church in Rwanda has more than 900,000 members and is expected to reach 1 million before the end of 2019.
That brings us to the end of our Adventist news from the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. Please feel free to share what is happening at your church by sending us your news stories and upcoming events. Feel free to email them to sbcadventistnews@gmail.com or call our media department at 242-341-4021. To view a rebroadcast of the Adventist news, along with other programming, or to keep in touch with what's happening in our conference, please visit or subscribe to the conference website, southbahamasconference.org, our YouTube channel, and our Facebook page. On behalf of our production team of Adventist Television Channel 658, have a happy Sabbath and thanks for watching this week's broadcast. I'm Adriel Hepburn for the SBC Media Network.